And we are live with the Off the Mat podcast.
Off the Mat with Brian and Keith. Just so you guys know, I take full credit for Off the Mat
He
podcast.
should. He definitely should, because I think
that name was me.
It's a great name. Off the top.
Yeah. Excuse me for a moment. I have to post a boomerang of us starting our record here.
All right. There we go.
Yeah. So what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a week. What's going on?
You've been,
Actually, this is like the first time that we've done a podcast where we actually haven't seen each other, like within that week.
Yeah, that's true. You've been on the injury reserve list.
I'm on that IR list, man. I'm on that IR list. So for the viewers out there, one, let's recognize the fact that we actually have video this time.
We do.
So we have video up and running, guys. So yeah, we're moving up in the world. We're coming places.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I'm on the IR list, man. I got a detached retina in my left eye.
And you have no idea. You just went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Hey, that's loose."
Well, no. Here's what happened: was I lost my vision in the top left corner of my eye. So like if I'm looking straight, I'm looking at the camera so that way the camera can kind of tell. So right here, I can't see my hand. It's completely blurred out there. It's like a shade there.
It's just like you woke up one day and it was gone?
Yeah, I can't pinpoint like the exact moment of whenever it started. But yeah, there's like a shade there. So I don't know if it was like I woke up and it started or it started like after training or whatever the case may be. But yeah, there was a shade there and it had been there because it didn't hurt or anything. It wasn't getting worse. It was just kind of there. And I was like, all right, well, we'll see what happens. And it was like that for about a month, you know. And then I decided to go to the doctor. I was like, obviously, there's something going on if it's been like that for a month. So I go to the doctor, and they're like, yeah, you have a detached retina, and you're extremely lucky that you're not blind right now.
You weren't, see, the moment anything goes wrong with my body, like one time I had too much wax in my ear.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time hearing, and I, like, immediately called my friend. I was like, hey, just to let you know, I'm deaf now. And this is my life.
Are you one of those people that like goes onto Google and types in like your symptoms and it's like,
no,
fuck, I got AIDS?
No, because I would have had AIDS like 3 times over if that was the case. Because AIDS can come from anything. You can look on Google and it'd be like if you've coughed for more than 5 minutes in a row, you have AIDS. And you're like, whoa.
So I'm that guy actually, right? So I always go online and like type in my symptoms and like at least have an idea of what possibilities could be.
Yeah.
And I went online for this one, typed in my symptoms, and the first 3 links that I went to right off top was like, this is not something that can be diagnosed over the internet. You have to go to a doctor.
Oh no.
Like we're not even gonna entertain this. And that's when I was like, oh fuck, I should probably go to a doctor because it seems like it's kind of serious.
That's legit.
Because like I said, it wasn't getting worse and it wasn't hurting, so I was just like, yeah, whatever, fuck it.
You join a rare group. It's you, Michael Bisping, and
yeah, they said 1 in 1,200 people. 1 in 1,200 people get detached retinas.
Do you think it's from your fight or sparring, or do you think?
So I would imagine that's what it's from. I mean, that would make the most sense. But from my understanding, what my doctor said was, because I have perfect vision.
Okay.
I can see absolutely perfectly and have been all the way. I've never had to wear glasses, contacts, none of that stuff. So he checked out both my eyes when we were in there for the detached retina, and he was like, yeah, the stability of your eye is just super weak. And he was like, in fact, your right eye is ready to detach at any moment. He was like, so, in fact, after they do the surgery in this eye, after about a month or so, they want to go into the right eye and do LASIK just to kind of like strengthen and reinforce that eye so that way it won't detach. Yeah, man. So, apparently I just have like weak eyes in general. So, he said that it could have been from anything, honestly, but I would imagine that that's what it's from.
Do you have, like, can you roll or like, are you just.
Right. You're saying like afterwards?
Yeah.
So here's how it went, right?
Okay.
So I go to the first doctor, right? This dude's old as fucking dirt. Like I'm about to check his pulse to make sure he's alive before he looks into my eye, right?
Nice.
Old as fuck. And he's obviously appalled at the fact that I'm a MMA fighter and whatnot, and that I do jiu-jitsu, wressling, and all that.
Of course, because he's old.
Yeah, it's just because he's old as shit and he doesn't know. He's just ignorant to it. It's not his fault. But yeah, he was just like, you should never do any of this. He was like, you need to seriously consider a change in lifestyle and career paths. He was like, you should not be doing MMA, you shouldn't be doing jiu-jitsu, you shouldn't be training, you should be doing none of this. He was like, you run a high risk of going blind with a detached retina and doing this stuff. So that was the first doctor. And then I go to my surgeon, right? My surgeon, he's probably like in his 30s, something like that.
Right.
Indian guy. And he just came in like super energetic, super high strong. It was just like, got down to business. Like, literally, this guy is almost the exact same personality as me. It was like, let's fucking go, right?
Was he wearing shades when he walked in?
No, he wasn't that gangster, dog. Come on now. So he comes in, right, and he checks out my eye, all that good stuff, and he's like, all right, Brian, you got a detached retina. And he's like, this is the seriousness of it. This is what we're going to do. You have to have surgery within 5 days. We have to do it immediately. So one, they said, the tear, since I can't see in the top left, the tear is actually in the bottom right because everything's reversed.
Right.
And they said since it's on the bottom, that's why it hasn't gotten worse, is because gravity has actually been working in my favor as far as like kind of keeping it in place. So that's why it hasn't gotten worse. They were like, if it were on the top, you waited this long, you'd already be blind. There's like no doubt about it. Like if it's a detachment on the top, you have to go like within 48 hours because it will progressively get worse, and there's no way of ignoring it, you know, like I did.
It's weird how like the old school doctors are so against anything new aged or like the MMA jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I years ago had my hernia, the guy was like, "Hey, we're gonna fix this, and once we fix it, like you're done with any sort of activity like
Fuck
MMA jiu-jitsu." And I was like, nah. And he's like, "Well, you're gonna have the risk of rupturing your hernia." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll take the risk because I love this."
Yeah, I'm not sacrificing it.
Yeah, no. Like,
so that's what that the first doctor was saying to me too, because he was saying like, don't even train nothing. And I was like, look, I mean, we can entertain the idea of not fighting again. Like that makes sense. If I get punched in the eye, like shit can go wrong.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
That sounds legit to me. But don't tell me like I can't roll or I can't hit a punching bag or I can't hit mitts or anything like that. Like, calm down, old man. I'm gonna do that shit.
Oh yeah, no.
Like that's gonna happen regardless. So I need you to work with me to prevent whatever injury. But the second doctor, so whenever he came in and told me like all the risks and everything, I said to him, I was like, so I'm not gonna be able to fight again, right? And he like pulled back and like looked at me funny. He was like, who told you that? And I was like, the last doctor. And he goes, buddy. No. You listen to me. You don't listen to anybody else. You listen to me. I've been doing this 11 years. I'm gonna take care of you. He was like, I'm going to fix you. I was like, all right, cool. He was like, as far as surgery, there's always risks. He was like, I could fuck up and you could lose your eye. Yeah. He was like, it could get infected and you could lose your eye. He's like, there's all kinds of possibilities. He's like, you can also get hit by a bus on your way to the grocery store. You're going to sit at home and starve to death?
That's true. Yeah.
I was like, all right. He's like, regardless, you're going to have a 1 in 10 chance of it redetaching. He was like, but you got to live your life, man. He was like, if you can do things to like refrain from getting hit directly in the eye, because obviously it's going to increase your chances. But essentially the procedure is, so let me explain the procedure so people kind of have an idea. They put a elastic band around my eye, which kind of folds it in. They essentially have to change the shape of my eye.
Oh wow.
So the detached retina is, so imagine like a shell. That's your eye, right? And then there's this ball of gel inside, and that ball of gel is like your retina, and it's attached to that shell. So if it comes undone, it's like detached, so it's attached everywhere else, and there's like a little gap there. So they put a belt on it to close that gap up, and then from there they go in with a tool. It's like a freezing tool that's gonna essentially scar it over to where it stays in that position. Oh, so they'll change the shape of my eye, and I may have to wear glasses afterwards, but yeah, it'll be fixed.
There goes that perfect vision.
Yeah, no kidding. That was another thing too, because it's been a month. I was like, am I gonna get my vision back? And they're like, we'll see. Like, it's been a month, so we don't know. You might not be able to see in that top left corner of your eye. But I still had something attached that like started with an M. I can't remember the name of it, but that was still attached, so I'll be good there. They said that most likely I'll get the vision back, but yeah, we'll see, man. Surgery tomorrow. We'll see.
Well, hey, good luck and safe recovery.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah. But yeah, man, fucking injuries in sports is a motherfucker, dude. I don't know. You play fantasy football at all?
I do FanDuel. I don't have time for all the teams and who get injured and
Yeah, that's the thing right there. Is like fantasy football. It's like the first 3 weeks. It's just like, all right, who did I waste a draft pick on? Because someone's going down. That's what I had.
Yeah, my boy. He's doing a league, and they had it in there. Like if you draft the top 10, you can't drop them.
So if they were like your first pick.
So like if you have Le'Veon Bell right now.
Oh, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're done. Like he's a part of your lineup no matter what. And you spent that cap or whatever.
Well, you can keep him on the bench because he's supposed to. I think he's gonna come back like week 11. Whoa.
I feel like but that's 11 weeks of you got all excited
of not Le'Veon Bell and wasting your first round draft pick on him.
Yeah. So
like, damn, that's tough, man. Hey, R.I.P. to any of the fantasy teams that drafted Le'Veon. I'm sorry, guys.
I like FanDuel. You don't like FanDuel?
Isn't that like a week to week thing?
Yeah, it's week to week, and you get a certain amount of money. And then each player is represented,
Yeah, like how good they are. That's how much money they are. Someone's calling the gym.
Yeah, someone's calling the gym. If you
in case anyone was wondering.
I'm going to let Brian keep talking because I want to check on this camera.
Yeah, double check that camera. I guess Matt either answered it pretty quick or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Coming through. You still got it recording?
Yeah, that baby's going.
We're good?
Yeah, we're
on there?
I thought I heard something click, so I was like, oh.
Nah, stop it. Oh. But yeah, man, for athletes.